Alright, let's get to work.
Sector 1-1, this is Shadow 8-0, remote engagement out.
Shadow Sector 1-1, ready for remote.
We have 1-2S-19 in the open. Grid is...
Roger, understand 1-2S-19 the open.
Good readback, requesting 1 low out, target line is 090. BRS is... and we're approximately A out.
Understand 1 low out, 1 K out, and I am now ready, time of flight.
Roger, time of flight. Shadow's blazing.
Roger, Spectre 1-1, rifle away.
Rifle out.
Plates are on.
Sector 1-1, this is Shadow. 1-2S-19, catastrophic kill, end of engagement.
Spectre acknowledges 1-2S-19 destroyed.
It's annoying that this happens every time. Is this running?
Sector 1-1, this is Shadow 8-0, remote engagement out.
Shadow Sector 1-1, ready for remote.
We have 1-2S-19 in the open. Grid is...
Roger, understand 1-2S-19 the open.
Good readback, requesting 1 low out, target line is 090. BRS is... and we're approximately A out.
Understand 1 low out, 1 K out, and I am now ready, time of flight.
Roger, time of flight. Shadow's blazing.
Roger, Spectre 1-1, rifle away.
Rifle out.
Plates are on.
Sector 1-1, this is Shadow. 1-2S-19, catastrophic kill, end of engagement.
Spectre acknowledges 1-2S-19 destroyed.
Okay, got it. So, let's see. Does this even fly right now? Oh, weird. Yeah. All right. So 42 frames. Let me. Ultra quality FSR 1. Okay, yeah, we're dropping frames still at this point. Yeah. Still dropping frames. I mean, some of it's to be expected at a 5K display, but I wonder how I could make it not drop frames. Okay. So at 51 here, really nothing else going on though. All right, I'm going to try it with no. Okay, so that's turned off. We do have some roads, but I'm just going to delete them straight up. I also need to do some terrain. Okay, so I'm going to delete the terrain from this one completely. So I'm going to go probably a mesh. This mesh will have a plane, which will be 1,000 by 1,000, just 1 kilometer. Okay. And I will have an ocean, which currently is higher than that. So let's move the mesh up. Whoops. What's up, Firebase? 007. Is Godot having a LM helping hands tool or no? No, it doesn't have one built in, but I use Cursor to edit my scripts. What's up, Sketchy Bex? It's coming along. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a huge amount of time to work on it. Right now I'm doing performance work, so I'm having a lot of issues with like my larger maps. So what I'm doing is I'm like just performance wise. Now, to be fair, I'm running this on a Mac Studio with a M1 Max, which is not exactly the gamingest machine of gaming machines, right? Make this just a little bigger. And it's also running on a 5K display that also has another display. So I'm taxing it to the max, you know. Mac M1 Max, not a like M4. I do have 32 or 64 of memory, so I do have plenty of memory in this thing, but now I do have a gaming computer sitting right next to it, like literally right here. I have a gaming computer, and I do run it on that. I can run some maps at like 300 FPS, but I'm still getting these pauses where it'll just like hang for like 3 or 4 frames. So I need to figure out what those are. And I'm not sure if that's just Windows or if it's this too. But there's a bunch of work that needs to be done in the scripts because I assume that there's going to be terrain 3D. Make it earn its keep, yeah. I'm gonna create a script here, and I'm gonna call it terrain flat. And I'm actually going to open the, let's see, let's see, altimeter. With ocean. Terrain.data.getHeight for the position. This is the ocean height. I really need the same thing in this. So it'll be like plane height. And this will not be ocean dot. It will just be that. And it won't be ocean transform. It'll be my, I'll just say T, okay. N O height. Okay, so this works even if the plane is translated and rotated, tilted, supposedly. But then what I need to do here is have a let's see. So a lot of times it's like .data. No judgment in this question. What made you choose Godot? What judgment would there be? I don't want to pay. I am not good at coding. I'm trying to figure out what the judgment would be if there was judgment. No, but so really kind of two factors. One is my brother who just hopped into the chat, actually, Dead Slap, what's up? He was already doing some Godot, and you'd have to ask him what, yeah, why don't you throw in chat if you can, Denton, what your reason for choosing Godot was. So he was already doing it. I'd also tried Unity. I did not like a lot of things about Unity, but I would tell you, I'll tell you that one of the biggest things that attracted me to Godot was, it sounds kind of weird, but it's the file format. So as an example, my Apache, okay? This is text. .tscn means it's a scene file, but .t in front of it means it's text. And so I can go through, I can look, I can read all of this, and I can edit it. I can have an LLM, an AI edit it. I could, I can commit it to Git. I can resolve conflicts. You can't do that with binary very easily. You can't do it with binary. And there might be something for Unity, but I don't know. I didn't find it. Like, setting up Git was an absolute nightmare. The one I would consider is definitely not Unity. I would only consider two other options other than Godot. One is Unreal. I would consider Unreal just for the performance and power. And the second thing that I would consider is just hand rolling my own. So it's Godot number 1, Unreal number 2, roll my own number 3. Like, write it in C++. Or I don't know. Some people use other languages, but is Cursor doing good in this use case? Yeah, it does great. It's fantastic. There's Godot tools. Let's see. Godot tools. Why is it playing? Okay. All right. EDM Christmas music. It's not exactly what I was looking for. Okay. The Godot application opened in a reasonable time frame, and the way it's structured node system I really like. Yeah, the node system is cool. I can deal with the other ones too, but the node system is it's neat. I've once I like grokked it, understood it, it just made a lot of sense. So you're gonna have to bear with my my music because I have a whole bunch of like DRM free music that I downloaded from audionautics.com, and I'm just trying to delete the ones that I don't like, and so I'm gonna run into stuff that is not good streaming music. GD script is pretty cool. The thing that I'm having a little bit of an issue with GD script is just the raw speed, but even that's pretty good. And I don't think that's my issue. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's my issue. I also like the community better. It doesn't hurt that it's fully open source and free. Like fully open source. Okay, so I have data.getHeight everywhere. Like this. So I'm going to say game.terrain height instead. everywhere I can. Terrain height at... I actually think this needs to be changed to the game dot terrain height. And I want to stop having to pass in terrain. So anywhere I'm using this one, I can, yeah, it's already passing in game.terrain anyway, so that doesn't seem necessary. I'm getting off of what I'm supposed to be doing, but that's okay. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, I'll just keep hacking. You don't hear any music right now? Whoa. You're right. Why is that not coming through? What? Desktop audio is on. Do I just have to like reset this to 0? It was working yesterday. I mean, I am using a different player. Like instead of VLC, I'm using IINA, which is sort of a VLC-like thing. Oh, there's the playlist. I didn't know where that was. Okay, so what's the output from the player? That is a good question. Video mode? I mean, it looks normal. Okay, let me try this. Let me actually like, I don't know, play some other audio or something. Okay, so I don't want any like music or anything. Doesn't seem like audio, desktop audio is coming through at all. Because like I'm playing this right now. Sorry about the potato quality here. Actually, it should just be audio or auto. Yeah, I'm not seeing any come through. I mean, I'm hearing it. Let's see. Settings. Audio. Oh, it's from this streaming audio thing, which I think comes from Loopback. So I have to open that. Skip for now. Oh, this picks which ones. That's why. So I have to add other sources. Of course, my music stops right now as soon as wait, whoa, is that loud? Okay. Is that loud? Very loud. Sorry. My bad. Hold up. Okay, pulling it back. I don't know. Yeah. How's that? This is not a very loud song. Loopback is cool, by the way. Yeah, like I had VLC in here before, so I should probably add Brave. Although, to be honest, I actually like separating. I really should be using two browsers, one for streaming and one for like everything else. Because, just, making sure I'm not bringing up company secrets or something. I don't know. See if I can do it. Bump it a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna use Chrome for this, but then I need to like sign into GitHub and stuff. So I'll do that real quick. Okay, why don't I just switch to this view so I'm not like, I'm gonna expose my password to all 2 people. Or like I literally just did, my credit card information. That's good there? Cool. GitHub. Log in. Sign in. GitHub mobile app. Verify. Approve. Logging in. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Everyone's mad at Cursor right now, Theo says. Okay, I'm going to switch back once I close that. All right, back to coding. Your brother already has your passwords. You're probably fine. That's true. I'll just leak them on my own stream. That's the way to do it. That's what the NDA says. You can't leak them on my screen. My stream. Okay. Should we get back to work? By the way, I'm streaming on this channel, which has very few subscribers, 94. Jamon Game Dev. So I'll throw a link in there if you want to subscribe. I do like when people are on Twitch. Love it. Twitch is great. I'm also trying to grow my YouTube channel, but of course that requires putting YouTube videos up, which turns out. Okay, let's keep looking. So we're looking for data.getTerrain. Oops. What? No, get height. Sorry. Get height. All right, so let's put this where you can actually see what I'm doing. So terrain height at, whoops, what did I just do? Did not intend to do that. Terrain height at, yeah, so this should just be game.terrain height. So this is what cursor can do. Of course, it's not going to do it right now, apparently. Yeah, it does not want to do. Okay, there, it auto completed. It was working before. Kill that. All right, let's go back to our get height. And the whole reason I'm doing this is because I want to test a flat plane, as you can see here, to see if the performance is better. But it's going to break because I'm assuming that there's terrain out there. So I need to do a little layer of abstraction saying, whatever the terrain is, just always get it from game.get or terrain height. Wait, what? Okay. Get height range is interesting. I probably need to add that to terrain flat. And actually, let's say get height here, and let's do func get height range. And what do we get back from get height range? We get a vector 2, which is the height, the max and the min. Okay, horror 3 is not my favorite. Deleting. I suspect I won't like the next one either. This one's called Hot Mess. Okay, height range. So let's see if Cursor has any ideas. Let's do this. Quick edit. Any ideas on how we could implement this? The script will be applied to a mesh instance 3D, which has a mesh, which is always a quad mesh, generally situated flat-ish with some tilt sometimes, but it has corners. Or edges, of course. The get height method will calculate the height along the plane, but we'd also need to account for the height outside the edges. Haven't done this yet. And also what the min max height would be for this method here. go ahead and implement this method, please. Yeah, quick edit's pretty good because it's more focused. It doesn't like try to do everything, and it's much faster. If the mesh is not a quad mesh, this will not work as expected. Get the 4 corners. Yeah, I understand that as quad mesh. What I can do is like do an assert. Or I guess it's doing here if not. Because when you do as quad mesh, actually Denton, you may not know this. When you cast as quad mesh, if this is not a quad mesh, it will error in like dev, but in prod what will happen is it will actually just be like null. So I guess that's one way, but I think I just want to do an assert. Local corners. There's no X form. There's no X form method. What else can we use? Just times? Oh, yeah. Why not just get the times corner? Wouldn't it be plus? What's it gonna do? It's just like, I don't know. I guess we can see. Is that similar to you only accept a certain class of area 3D and area entered signal or something? Like using area entered hitbox will give me push errors but not real errors. Yeah, I think they use kind of like as like the same mechanism right there. I actually could be wrong on that. That could be more like if you don't give it a vector 3 in an array. Like if I did something like this, like obviously it has type errors here, but so by the way, Sketchybex, Cursor does connect to the language server for Godot, so it will obviously show type errors in Cursor, which is awesome. Or rather, Godot tools will. Okay.
Shall we begin?
Okay. So even outside, mesh itself only covers the area within the quad. Min max of the actual quad. I wonder if I could use, instead of array float, so this is something, Dent, you might want to think about doing too. Try using a packed array here. Oh, this is why you wouldn't. Do you know the difference between a packed array and an array? I will tell you. Packed arrays are essentially... Okay, I'm not a big fan of this one either. Ice cold, I guess it's called. Okay. Array has a bunch more functionality, but is bigger, more bloated. So it has things like min and max. You don't always need that. If you can get away with it, use a packed array, but you have to specify the heights or the type. So it'd be like var my thing, packed array, packed float 32 array, or float 64 array, or int 32 array, or string array. String array is often what I'm doing. And then I'm just doing like my thing dot push hello. Wait, what? Or is it append? Yeah, append. Still thinking in TypeScript. But it's much more efficient because a packed array is basically just a long... Like in memory, it's literally just... If I have like float 32s, it's just float 32 after float 32 after float 32 after float 32. There's no other information in there. It's just all the way through. And yeah, it just doesn't have all the extra functionality. It's not optimized for seeking, you know, it's optimized for raw compression. And so it's great for if you have to send data across the wire for multiplayer, as an example, or for saving in like a binary save file that's really, really tight. As long as it has the methods I need, I can use packed. That doesn't always mean it's faster, but it usually is. And it will always be smaller because it doesn't have like, I don't know exactly what kind of optimizations there are. That's actually a really interesting question. Packed array versus array in GDScript. What? Is this something new? This is something new. It's sort of like, this looks like Perplexity. If you've ever used Perplexity, that's kind of cool. So as long as it has the methods I need, I can use packed. Oh, sorry, I already read that. I don't know why I went back to that. Okay, so two main options, the general purpose array and specialized packed array. So flexibility can hold any GDScript type even variants, even a mix within a single array. That's another thing. You can only have one type in a packed array. Each element is stored as a variant, which can represent any data type. Performs well for small to medium-sized arrays, but can cause memory fragmentation with very large arrays. Only a single type. Packs it tightly, saving memory, especially for large arrays. Faster for iterating and modifying compared to a typed array of the same type, and avoids memory fragmentation. There's fewer convenience methods compared to array. For example, map is not available for packed arrays. Packed arrays are always passed by reference. To get an independent copy, you have to duplicate it. I thought that was the same with array. It should be. General purpose use where you need to store different data types or when array size is small. Large data sets. When flexibility is more important than raw performance or memory use, and choose packed. I think this is all correct. It's only the built-in types. Array isn't like that, I don't think. It copies on it. Really? No, that cannot be. That would be horrible. If you're just passing it around, that can't be. That can't be. Okay, I'm just gonna, whoops. I'm actually gonna go here. Yeah. You should avoid premature optimization, focus more on getting features done. I don't fully agree with this. It depends on what you're doing. I can tell you that going back and trying to optimize later is such a massive pain that sometimes it can like kill the end of your project. Like it makes the end of your project so hard to finish. It makes your project hard to finish. That doesn't mean that you should always optimize everything. Unless you're just having fun and wanting to learn and enjoy that part, which is what I do. So I like optimizing. It's fun. I don't have a deadline with this game. I can not do it and it's fine. I can do it in 10 years. It's fine. Yeah, copying would be things like actual bare values. Although even those in Godot, I think are a lot of times objects. Like, I actually don't know about... Okay, yeah, this one needs to go as well. In a world. It started out okay, then it got annoying. Okay, so let's actually look at GD script float 32, or just float, I guess. I'm pretty sure that these are copied. Okay, that one's not good either. Delete that one. So these are variant types. It looks like they're just kind of in with everything else, which makes me think that they're an actual object. Are GD script, float, and int objects, or let's say stored on the heap or stack? Let's just ask that. Is a member of a class. Well, yeah, of course. I don't know if I agree with this. Like, I don't know if that's correct. Okay, core types. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Godot uses standard C99 data types such as uint8, 32, 64. Cares not taken to use the most efficient data type for a given task unless using large structures arrays. Int is used through most of the code unless necessary. This is done because nowadays every device has at least 32 bits bus and can do such operations in one cycle. So this is an interesting part for like optimization, performance optimization. If you are passing it like a 4-bit or 8-bit int or 16-bit int or something, it's not actually saving any time because the CPU is still doing the whole thing in one pass. Like, boom, same speed. Doesn't slow down. It will take more memory, maybe, but a lot of times there's situations. Actually, yeah, let me back up. It may not take more memory to do like a full int, like a 32-bit int, because sometimes your 8-bit ints and 16-bit ints and stuff like that can be stored as in words, which just wastes the rest of the byte. I don't 100% remember how that all works. And then sometimes, a lot of times, like memory is optimized for the architecture, so it'd be like, it just doesn't speed it up any. Like you're just gonna waste memory no matter what you do. Now there's ways to like use bit shifts and there's ways to like kind of hand optimize a lot of this stuff, but usually if that's only worth it at the engine level. Under the hood, it's rarely worth it in your actual game, where your performance issues are you're just like looping and allocating and deallocating and throwing just memory and cycles, billions of cycles for every little thing you do, and shaving off a few cycles here or there is just not going to make an impact. But I will say that like if an engine can improve some things without you noticing, then yeah, it just benefits everybody, right? Okay, so I have an array that is my small box inventory. Set my UI inventory array to equal that when you open the box, but maybe that is just passing the reference. I think that is true. You're just passing the reference, and that should be an array because that's like a whole bunch of different things. Are you two working on this project together or working on separate projects? Separate projects as of now. Zachary Keith. Have you tried any other engines other than Godot? What do you like about Godot? Okay, so they have to be duplicated. Yeah. Okay. I'll answer that in just a second here. I know Acerola uses it now. Yeah, so I tried Unity, and I've built games in GameMaker, the original GameMaker, the GameMaker 2, GameMaker Studio, and QBasic. I have built games in JavaScript, TypeScript, Elm, even Elixir, Objective-C. I've never done one in like Android. I've built games in let's see, what else have I built games in? There's some JavaScript frameworks. I built it in Ruby Motion. Yeah, I've built games in many languages and frameworks and stuff. Again, intro action. Okay, that one needs to go. Nope, stop. Okay. But yeah, why did I choose Godot? So I mentioned this earlier in the stream. I don't think you were here, but Godot. There's a couple things. One is that my brother Denton, who's in the chat as Dead Slap, he was using it, and I took a look and I liked what I saw. I had done Unity and I didn't like it because this sounds a little petty, but like being able to just have like text representations of your scenes was cool. I like as Denton mentioned, the node system. I like that it's open source. I like that it has a scripting language that is both easy to use, good inference, and then, or at least adequate inference, but also type information. Decent performance. Not great, but decent. Okay, I don't like this one either. And I like the community. I like that it's free and open source, and yeah, I don't know. I just decided to try it. Oh, I love that it works well with Git. Like I can I'm curating this music list. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyway, a lot of that stuff. I like that it's under active development, that there's a really robust community. Generally speaking, I think the community is more kind, not always, and sometimes a little weird, but I'm cool with it. I would probably do Unreal, not Unity, And if I couldn't use Unreal or Godot, I would probably like build my own. Unity, it doesn't work the way my brain works. That's not totally true. I could probably get used to it. It's really lightweight. Oh, also, it works great on Mac. I'm on a Mac right now. So that means something. All right, man, I am doing a very poor job of keeping up on this. I wish I could actually have multiple searches open. What is the new search editor? What is this? Okay, I don't want this. Oh, open new search editor. Context lines? Oh, I see. Okay. UX needs to be worked on. Don't like jellyfish either. Go on. Not big on that one either. Okay. So I don't need any of the terrain 3D stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like that. Okay, data.getHeight. Whoops. Dang it. Okay, we don't have that many to go. So get terrain, data, get height, spawn base. Again, this is a situation where game.terrain height. And actually, I'm going to move this game.terrain. I'm going to move this game.terrain height. I don't like that it's in game, actually. I don't like that it's right here. I don't like that any of this stuff is here. All of this stuff needs to be out in a different thing. Max terrain height. Yeah. So I probably need to move this into... Okay, again, with the Christmas music. Not big on that one either. Okay, see ya, Denton. Thanks for dropping by. That's awesome. I've been in my shader learning journey for a little while learning Metal. Nice. Planning to make an app to do cool stuff like artistic graphics, simulations, mini games, etc. I'd love to build an actual game someday. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe you can help me with my shaders. GD shader code is similar to a lot of other... I don't know why they built their own language for GD shaders. Like why they didn't just use the OpenGL standard. Maybe they wanted to be able to translate between them or something. So game.terrain. I wonder if this is the whole reason. Okay, I just realized why I'm doing what I'm doing before what I'm changing. Like doing this terrain thing here. Especially like here. That's okay. I know how to fix it. All right, so let's do a terrain.gd. I have this like terrain flat thing, but why not? No, this is fine. This is fine. Okay. General. Oh, I don't want to give it a. So extends node. Terrain. General. So okay. Convenience singleton for accessing terrain data and functions. Okay, so auto load and use as terrain dot etc. It will automatically use any nodes in the current scene that are in the terrain group, I guess. I'm gonna see if I can do this. Not finding a lot of music I like in this. What kind of game would you do, Zachary Keith? Like, what kind of game would you do? So this is Terrain 3D. 3D. And then var ocean would be a mesh. Or there is an ocean type, I believe. Did I make an ocean type? I did not. So instance 3D, or yeah, and then var terrain flat would be, I do have this terrain flat thing. Okay. And hey, YouTube. Sorry, I wasn't able to see your chats because there was an issue, but I now see them, so I really apologize for not seeing what you wrote. Zachary Gibson, have you tried any other game engines besides Godot? Oh, was that you? And then, why do you switch from mobile app React Native to game dev? So I do both. Oh, that was you. Okay. Sorry about that. I did not see that. I'm glad you wandered over to Twitch. Thank you for sticking with me and not getting upset. But Keen, I don't know how to say that. Can? Let me see if I can figure out how to translate.google.com. Kinkan. Kinkan. Oh, that's cool. Vietnamese. I figured it was Vietnamese. But yeah, mobile app, React Native to game dev. So I do game dev in my spare time, and I do React Native for my job. And sometimes I do React Native in my spare time. And once in a while, I might do some game dev during a work day because I own the company and I'm the CTO and I can do what I want. All right. So let me... I do actually want to read all this later. So terrain flat, we have a get height range. Okay. I don't care about that. I do want to do assert meshes quad mesh, and then I can get rid of all that. No, I just want to keep this. It has to be a quad mesh. If it's not, then, that's problematic, right? I'm going to do this actually. Var quad mesh, get return mesh as quad mesh. So quad mesh will always return a quad mesh. This is basically a way for me to, I can't do it as a one-liner, can I? No. This is a way for me to have quad mesh, always return a quad mesh. And I could actually have an assert in here. Here we go. So yeah. And then I don't have to really do this because anytime I access quad mesh, it'll double check that with an assert, which by the way, asserts get stripped in production. So yeah. All right. Live chat. Close. Got it. Okay. Let's finish doing the, let's see here, data.get height. Not terrain 3D, spawn tree regions, terrain.data.get height. So this is where I would go terrain.get height. And I do need to, in the project settings, go into my globals and grab the script for terrain. And it's going to be named terrain, and we will load it. Cool. And then go back in here and keep working on it. So this should be terrain. A lot of these are not going to be very happy yet because I need to fix some stuff. Okay, so terrain flat. Okay, so func get height. I'm putting these asserts in here because I'm doing some performance testing stuff. I just thought of something. Okay, well, I'll come back to that. Okay, so, oh wait, no, terrain height, yeah. Terrain height and terrain height range. And actually, this should just be like height, not terrain height, because it's already named terrain. So it'd be like terrain.height. Height range. Terrain.height, terrain.height range. So we have terrain 3D and terrain flat. But we have to populate these. So this is where get first node in group. What I should do is go var terrain nodes array node 3D. It's going to be a node equals get tree, get nodes in group terrain. For node in, if it's a terrain 3D, we do this. If it's a mesh instance 3D, I think I need to actually double check. Ocean has terrain, but I probably should add a global group just called water, probably. Okay. Node is in group ocean. Node is mesh instance 3D and, okay, is mesh instance 3D and it's in a flat. I don't need that. If it's a mesh instance 3D and it's not in the group ocean, then it's just a flat terrain. I probably need like multiple though. So this one probably should be an array of terrain flats. Flat terrains. Or let's see here. Terrain planes. Let's do that. Dot append. Actually, I like the idea of it just being terrain flat. And then else push warning unknown terrain node. But this is not going to work for ready. What this needs to be is like a setup. So, and then I'll have like a var is set up, maybe. If is set up, return. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I don't need that. So I want to avoid it like, what? No. I want to avoid having to call it every time. Okay, so func terrain 3D, or let's say height 3D. Okay, assert, yeah. If not terrain 3D, then run setup. If not terrain 3D, that's not very good either. Okay. I think an action adventure game would be cool. Exploring puzzles. Some sort of cool vibe, like post-apocalyptic wizard or something. It's 80s type. I like the 80s. If you follow Acerola, but he's game dev that does YouTube, his videos are so funny and informative. I have never actually heard of him. Let me see here. By the way, why did this thing stop? I didn't tell it to stop. Okay. Acerola. Okay, yeah, I'll subscribe. Terrain generation. Israel is doing Godot. This looks like Game Maker. But Game Maker doesn't do 3D, so... Interesting. Yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, I'll check out some of the stuff. Yeah, not bad. Does Godot now? Yeah, cool. Okay, so... Yeah, always handle cases like this. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to avoid... not terrain 3D. Var is set up bool equals false. Maybe I'll just do it like this. Is setup equals true, and then a setup will still run, but if you want Okay, so if not and not is set up, then set up. And then it would just return it. So it basically does two checks. If it's not set up, if you've already run setup, then it won't try to run it again. If there's no terrain 3D, it returns not a number. I can handle that. Okay. Maybe I need multiple water nodes as well. So there's terrain planes and then water planes. Yeah, is water anyway. So water planes. Maybe I should have a water script. Hey, Mark, what's up? Do I want to have multiple water plain flat? I'm gonna change this to terrain plain. I think that's better. It's not flat, it's a plane. And then I should have a water plane as well. I mean, it could literally just be another terrain plane. That happens to also be in the water group. So there's terrain planes, and then there's terrain planes that are in the water group. Water planes append node. And then what I could do is go if so if it's in the group water, then it does this, otherwise this. So yeah. Planes. Only one terrain 3D node. Okay, unknown, it's fine. Setup true. So we kind of classify everything and pump it into these different things. Okay. Do the kind of the same thing, not water planes dot is empty. If water planes is empty, and we just return nan. Okay. So what I'd want to do is kind of figure out which one you're above. Figure out if you're in the water planes bounds, I guess. What is a so I get variant? Okay, what is plane here? Couldn't find terrain plane. Didn't I just make a terrain plane? Ah. You often have to go back. Whoops, I'm in the wrong thing. Here to like get it to register in the language thing. Okay, so So terrain plane. And get AABB. Has point. The problem with the AABB for like this guy, for example, which should be in the terrain. The AABB for this, if I go to inspector, it would need to be like incredibly high. Custom AABB. I don't think I want to use AABB. Can I get the bounty box just for 2D? Is it possible to get just the 2D has point so I know if the point is above or below or in the plane, but doesn't need to be exactly on the plane? It likes to do this, doesn't it? X and Z. So I could take this right here. Func is in bounds. Plane and position. Return is in bounds. Is in plane bounds. I mean, technically, I could just put that in the terrain plane then. I like that idea way better. Inbounds. And I don't need this because it just do get this. Okay, yeah. Okay. Something like this. So this is all like AABB stuff. Okay, so inbounds, this makes way more sense. If, yeah, plane inbounds, return, plane get height. If they overlap, then it would only return one of them. I don't think that's a huge deal. Oh, that is an issue. Yeah. So var max height float equals, okay, negative infinity. If I'll just say like less than negative 1,000, 10,000. Sanity check. Okay, there we go. It's quite a bit going on there, but this is really like height of water. This is, I really need just like this thing to be like height of planes, and then I pass in the planes and they will be I can't do this though. So here, height planes, height plane, no. Or yeah, what? Okay, I'll come back to that. Func height water, and then I'll put this in here. Func height terrain planes. I'll do height 4 planes here. Okay. Height plane. I don't remember what this one is even for. So the height is going to be double checking a bunch of stuff. Bar float equals there should be like a base. Let's do this. This is kind of stupid, actually. I'll just say lower than or equal to. So, height equals max of height 3D, height water, and height terrain planes. Yeah. So it checks for terrain 3D, water planes, terrain planes. These, so the setup here tries to double check all this stuff. Maybe I will just do this. One thing about me. I like compact vertical code. Or vertically compact code. Because to me, this is a... Yes, it's complex horizontally, but I've never found that reading code horizontal complexity is the problem. For me, it's vertical complexity. I want individual elements to be like a line is sort of like an atomic thing where I want to know this is an operation. Yes, there's a condition and a consequence. This one is a condition and a consequence. This one is a condition and a consequence. Condition and a consequence. This is the start of a block looping these. Condition, consequence, condition, consequence. All of these things, then you have like a function, a small body. Function, a small body. Function, a small body. Each of these, it's just like that. This one is fine, even though it only has one element. It's a block. Condition, consequence. Condition, consequence. You can see all my code is tight like this. That's how I like to write it. Yes, you can go wide, right? But I'm not an idiot. I can read this. I know what it does. If node is terrain plane and it's in the water, append it. Boom. You know? I find a lot of programmers have a weird... I don't know, I shouldn't say weird. It's not weird. Most programmers are this way. But they want it to be really long vertically. And I'm like, I don't like scrolling. I want to see along the left side as much of the information as I can. I don't care about the stuff to the right. That doesn't bother me. It's this right here. Like what's happening in this area right here? And then I can kind of dig deeper if I need to. I can scan to the right if I need to, but I'm vertically scanning to find what I need, and then I go right. It's like drilling down. Probably just triggered some people. Or I would if people were actually watching what I'm doing. Okay, so let's see here. We have all of that. That means that now I should be able to get just dot height, which by the way, dot height really probably should be up at the top because that's sort of the main API. Get the height of the terrain, max of all terrain types at this position. Maybe think differently for prop heavy components in React Native. Easier to diff things if vertical. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But like a lot of times if that's an issue, I will call out to other methods. It's kind of what I'm doing here, right? Like just calling out to other methods. These are vertical, but horizontal, but you drill down, right? So on the right, I can just drill down, go find something. So it's not like my code is like really wide usually. There's sometimes things like in this case we have an and here, so it kind of pushes it to the right. Vast majority of my code's fairly compact anyway, just because I like to use small functions for things. Prop heavy components though. Yeah, I don't know. Prop heavy components, that's not... The thing is about that though is those are all... That's like this. They're all the same like sort of level of understanding. All the props are these. If you start like indenting, just things or like in and out, I just can't stand that. I don't, yeah, I can't deal with that. Well, it's not like I can't deal with it. I do deal with it, but not when it's my code base. Okay, so I don't always do it. Like right here. I'm not gonna necessarily split that up or make that like a horizontal thing, but I think I definitely, this is not right. Let me reload. I'm missing something really important here. Oh, I haven't even switched all the game dot. Yeah, so game dot get terrain and above highest terrain. I need that one probably. Max terrain height. I should probably store that as well. var max terrain height, and that will be in here. Oh, I'll just go, let's say get max terrain height. So for every plane, for every water plane, or what am I doing? Var. No, that's right. Okay, I have this somewhere, so I might as well just use it, right? Terrain plane, get height range. Let's try get height range, I guess, for these. For get height range, don't need this. Dot y. Yes, that sounds right. And we can do this in water planes. And yeah, and this is like get height range for terrain 3D. And I could probably get height range. Yeah, this is probably fine. Yeah. So I should probably just store the terrain height range is a vector 2. Vector 2. Okay, and let's do, instead of this, get terrain height range. Terrain height range. Vector 2. So this is, it's trying to do it twice for some reason. Why don't we just get yeah, no worries, Mark. I just I'm just being, you know, pedantic programmer brain, right? Never take it too seriously, please. Please. Is not my intention. Okay, I don't like that. Why don't I just do something like, or wait. Okay. Range is vector 2. And then I go, okay, I'm gonna spread this out a little bit here vertically. Let's say, I don't know if you can use max on wait, what? What does it do? Okay. No, when using this on vectors, it will not perform component-wise maximum. We'll pick the largest values when comparing using use vector 2 max. Okay, how does that work? So component-wise maximum of this equivalent to, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay. So vector 2 dot max of range. Huh? Width. Oh, I see. So range dot max like so. Okay. I can work with that. Wait, huh? I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to undo all that. All I need is the highest. I don't need to store vector 2. I just need the max terrain height. Okay, folks. I think I need to go grill some burgers. Got a bunch of young men over playing some basketball, which I would probably play, but they're just playing mini hoop tournament, and I don't really feel like playing that. Plus, I got tennis elbow. I got all the excuses. I'm kind of in the middle of this, though. I'm going to keep going for just a little bit longer, but maybe I'll let them know I'll probably do some burgers. Set a timer for 18 minutes called Grill Burgers. Above highest terrain. Okay. If not setup, then we'll run setup. Okay. And then terrain height's there. Terrain height with ocean. Maybe sometimes I would need to check just the terrain 3D height. Ocean height, I think I already took care of it. In water. Yeah, it's just like less than height water. I'm actually gonna like rename some of these to be like, some of them are public functions and some are private. I'm not a big public private like worrier about any of the stuff, but let's see here. Above highest terrain, in water. Height for planes. So this one could probably be for that. Height terrain planes. Height water. Maybe. Height 3D I think I'll keep as a public. Private functions. Ish. Setup should probably also be a... no, that's not true. Because I need to call it from external sometimes. I need to be like, we're doing a resetup. Or I could say dot reset. That's actually probably better. Func reset is setup equals false, and just set all these things back, and then setup could then be and actually like yeah, that makes sense. So you can just call dot reset if you want. Okay, I like this. This is looking good. And so now I need to go through and so terrain, I'm actually getting rid of this, but I will say terrain dot set reset. And it'll call all the setup and everything. So, and then it'll call setup next time that it needs something. So it's kind of like a lazy reset. So anything terrain related, I'm gonna get rid of. I don't need ocean either. I do need world. I still do some of these things, but I don't need the terrain stuff. I don't need this. Okay, don't need this. Again, these things should be picked up. Okay. Yeah, I'll move some more of these things out of game because I don't want to have to make this a tool. So these need to be specialized things. Okay, game dot get or terrain. Okay, so instead of it'll be terrain dot height, like so. There is something about like with water or not, you know? And so I kind of feel like I need to deal with that. Because with water, whoops. With water, so this is like height with water type thing. Oh yeah. All solid. Include the water for boats and also radar altimeter. etc. So height with water. Is there a better name for this? Come up with a better name for this, please. Surface height. Terrain height and then surface height. Of the solid terrain. Okay, surface height kind of makes sense there. And it's the max of the height or in the high water. Okay. This one should just be height. Terrain 3D. If there's a terrain 3D. Terrain height with the ocean. So this should be terrain dot surface height. I like it. Bisect terrain check. What is this? Are we using this? Sees quick. Okay.
Ready.
I'm not very sure on this one. So this is checking the terrain. I mean, I can just do terrain dot surface height.
Drop.
This is not going to be very fast, though. Let's do that. Okay, fair enough. Okay, maybe that worked. Maybe that worked. Okay. Surface height. Okay. I'm a little worried this is slow. Spawn base. I probably need to run terrain dot reset. Okay, so get terrain.
Yeah, drop.
I don't know if I actually want to do that. I actually probably need to just have like a get terrain 3D method. It's not gonna let me do that. I could probably just do, if not, get terrain 3D. I could probably do the same thing with the other stuff, but no, this is fine. This is fine. So get terrain 3D. It'll do the best it can to get it. Okay. Whoops. Terrain. Get terrain 3D. Just height, or do I care about this? What if one of them returns Nan? That's probably going to cause a problem. I need to be thinking about this. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. So, terrain. How does Max handle NAN? Let me try running something like this in the evaluator. Clear. Okay. Stop. Okay. How do I... How do I expression evaluate? How do I... Oh, right here. Okay. Project. Let's see if this helps. Terrain not set. Okay, so this is okay. Prerequisites Y. Why are we running prerequisites? Enabled. Process, if not enabled. Oh. Well, why don't I... set process false. Why don't I do this? Does this fix it? Invalid call function get terrain 3D and base node placeholder instance. Oh, that's because I didn't make terrain into an actual tool, which I did intend to do. So project reload. I'd like to get to where this thing doesn't just spew errors everywhere. Terrain node helipad. I probably need to include that. Probably need to include this. What is it? It is a static body. So, oh geez, more. Okay, so I don't think this should be considered terrain. But like from a collision standpoint, oh, you know what? I bet that's what I need to do. I bet that's what I need to do. Use collisions. As well as height? Wow. Yeah. But basically turn this one off of terrain. And then this could be another group, which is going to be called buildings or structures. Let's say structures. So a structure, I have destructible static. I don't know if I'll keep using that, but a structure let's say static body. Well, we're not going to actually have anything because I took it out of the terrain thing. This does not avoid buildings. Maybe that's okay. Like the terrain avoidance will not avoid buildings, but maybe that's okay. Okay. I'm not getting a bunch of errors at least. So that's good. I guess I didn't think about it being like a static body. What if I made the terrain, instead of being a plane, it could be a static body, but then that sort of, like that adds to the... Wow, that actually does make a lot of sense. Why am I doing it as a plane instead of a static body? That's probably okay though, actually, if I can make it work anyway. I will fall through it, but I don't know. Let's see how it works. And then I'm going to go grill some burgers. Oh, what? Why? Terrain plane, quad mesh. Mesh is not a quad mesh. Isn't this a quad mesh? What is it? It's a plane mesh. Why am I doing a quad mesh? It should be a plane mesh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. That's why I put the asserts. Makes it very difficult to... Okay, so... Spawn tree regions is not set to spawn on game start, so spawn base 72. 72. Why is it running? So the assert is maybe a problem, but let me just go push error. Rather than, or push warning, let's say. Oh, also I may not need to worry about that now that I have the new stuff. Above highest terrain in game. Game to above highest terrain. Aha. Okay. Whoa. Hello. Terrain height and node terrain. So it is close to ground. What? I don't understand this. Is close to ground. This is poorly implemented here. I should probably say surface height. Height is wow. Plus 0.3 is less is above. So this is like 0.4 or something. Or wait, huh? This has been bad the whole time, apparently. If we're not closer than, let's say, 100 or let's say 30 meters or something, check for obstructions altitude. Okay, and I'm gonna have to do this like CS dot feet to meters times check for obstructions altitude const equals 150 feet. Okay, let's try that, I guess. Okay, it falls through. Why am I falling? Oh, because I have this massive altitude and I can't keep up. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be calculating where I am. Or it thinks I'm really high or something. Oh. Okay, this probably isn't it, but what's the... am I converting terrain? So the get height... So the terrain plane situation here, do I convert? This is get height, returns height in meters. Okay. We should probably use feet. Meters to feet. Height range in feet. Whoops. I don't know if this works. And probably something's wrong here. Like, okay, so inbounds. Also, I don't even know if the AABB is working. Let's try it differently. Let's try it instead of this. Let's go, that's an interesting idea. If not pos.x is greater than... Okay, so var bounds vector is there a vector 4? I guess so. Equals plane mesh. What? You can do that? Yeah, I don't want that. Dot. So like, get position, or it'd be like global position. No, not that. Plus. Let's go top left. I don't know if this makes sense actually, but top right. Why does this seem wrong? Oh yeah, it's just... Yeah. How do I calculate? Okay, so I'm just going to have it to do implement. Okay, I'm going to see if AI can do this real quick. I just can't think right now. Calculate the global 2D bounds in X and Z for the plane, considering it can be tilted. Actually, no. Calculate the global bounds for the plane mesh considering the terrain plane's global position and the size of the plane mesh, which for this we will consider to be entirely flat. This should be doable. There we go. This may or may not help, but why am I falling through this though? That's what I don't understand. Like the helipad should be so terrain and static. It does say it's a terrain. Maybe I need to keep it in the terrain group. Don't totally know. It does say I'm at like 3 or 4 feet. And now it shows 36. I think it just dropped through. Oh, wait. We're off to the side of this thing? Okay, let me see if I can get over there before it falls through. Like, I don't know how I ended up over there. Oh, geez. Falling quickly. Can I make it? But why did I move? Why did it move? I don't understand why it moved. Here, I'm just gonna move this up and try it again. Nope, not what I meant to do. It's like throwing me to the side, isn't it? Oh, do I have a boundary problem? I have a boundary problem, don't I? Okay. Okay. I'm almost there. Yes, I know. Okay, boundary problem. This is the west boundary. Okay. Weird. Why is that on the floor? What? This is the north boundary. This is the other boundary. Yeah, so like west, north, east, south. That's our problem. That was the problem. It was throwing us to the side here. Nice. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Shows 0 right now for some reason. I don't know why. What? Oh, it's like throwing me up. Okay, is it not taking into account the height of the origin? of the oceans. Okay. Planes transform. I wonder if it is this like meters to feet thing. Yeah, because I think this is supposed to actually return meters. Okay. I swear I'm almost done. Oh yeah, now kind of looks like it's supposed to. Okay. Yay! Very cool. Okay, so, and it even does this, which is cool. Very nice. Okay, so, it even, yeah, it does this. Okay, if I shoot, it doesn't collide. I'll probably have to fix that, but this collides, which is cool. And I'm still dropping frames. So there's not even terrain right now, and I'm still dropping frames. There we go. Hey, we did it. We did it, we did it, we did it. I'm so happy. All right, closing this. Gonna commit. Revamped. Terrain. Height. System. Okay, sync that one up. And we're gonna call it good. Gotta go do some burgers. See you all next time.